What's up, boys and girls? Welcome to another edition of At Home PE with Mr. Feeley. Today, we have a special little 3-hole mini golf challenge. All right, so if any of you have been mini golfing, it's a fun little way of just putting around some cool little obstacles, make your own obstacles. We did 3 holes. All right, each hole is par 3. What par means is that's how many shots you're trying to get the ball in the hole. Instead of a hole, we are going to be using a makeshift shoebox, all right? For balls, we have some foam golf balls. We also have a little tinfoil ball. Can use a sock ball like we used for some of our trick shots. And we can also, really any ball you got laying around the house. Last thing we're gonna need is a putter. Now, Mr. Feeley is fortunate enough to have a couple putters around the house. If you do not have a putter, all right, you can still do the mini golf challenge. The way you can do that is, you can roll the ball with your hand. You can use your foot and do a little foot golf. Or if you really feel like getting creative, you can make your own putter. So what I did here was I took a broom handle, took the top of the broom off, and I have a little plastic cup tied together with a little belt loop from my bathrobe. All right, so whatever you can find, if you need shoelace, duct tape would work. Really anything you're gonna be able to hit the ball with, somehow tied down to the pole. All right, we have our tee box right here we're gonna be shooting from. We have 3 different creative holes made using some different stuff we got around the house. So just a little tip about putting before you guys get started. First thing you're gonna wanna do is take your putter and make sure you got a nice grip. Doesn't really matter about the grip, just make sure you got your 2 hands and make sure they're somewhat closer together and that you have nice control. If you're using a long broomstick like this, you may wanna choke down so that your hands are closer to whatever you're using to hit the ball. Now, when you go to hit the ball, 3 key things, all right? Number 1, you want the ball in the middle of your feet shoulder width apart. Step 2, eyes on the ball or eyes on the prize. In this case, that's my little mini basketball. And 3, back and forth like a swing. So you really want your arms, your shoulders, and your chest to feel like it's like a swing. Good to go. All right, so I have my homemade putter here that I explained to you earlier, made out of a broom handle, a bathrobe belt thing, and a small plastic cup. And then I'm gonna be using this small yellow foamy golf ball. But as I said, you can use all the sock balls, the basketballs, or the tinfoil ball, whatever you got around the house. So this hole right here that we made out of an ottoman, 2 sandals, a book, and a shoebox, this is gonna be what's called a par 3. So in golf, par is the amount of shots you need to take in order to get the ball in the hole. So I'm looking to get this ball in that shoebox in 3 shots. If I get it in less, I'll explain then. If I get it in more, that is not good. All right, so we're aiming for 3 or less. All right, so getting ready to take the first shot. I got my ball inside the tee markers. So in golf, you always start with the ball inside the tee markers on the tee box, just to make sure you're in good position. So this is my first shot. Like I said, looking to try to get it in 3. I'm gonna angle it down to get the cover. Oh, that's gonna be trouble.
Oh no. That's a man-made hazard.
Don't be afraid to get at weird angles. You don't have to do it proper. All right, now we're in business. All right, so was that 3? 1, 2, 3. So if we get it in here, we're looking at a bogey, which is only 1 shot over par. Not too bad, all things considered. All right, this is where the money's made. Drive for show, putt for dough, kid.
Oh my.
All right, double bogey, that means I'm 2 shots over par, so now my score right now is +2. Not the start we were looking for, but that's what happens when you play golf. Things happen. We gotta be honest and just take your score. All right, so after a double bogey on the first hole, we're here on the second hole, also a par 3, which means I'm trying to get it in the shoebox again in 3 shots. Switched up the hole a little bit to make it a little different. This time we're just trying to get it through the ottomans, and then there's some shoes lining it on the side. Feel free to get creative with your holes, make them as easy or challenging as you want, especially in the younger grades. You might want to start out easier. In the older grades, feel free to challenge yourself, but start out, putt around, like I said, get a feel for the putter first, then start getting creative with your holes. Last time I used the makeshift putter. This time I'm gonna use a real putter I had lying around the house. Some of them are more mallet or rounded style. There's other ones that are little squares. If you have one, feel free to use it. Might be a little bit easier. But whatever you got, like I said, you can use your foot, your hand, make a putter, get creative, do what you can with what you got. All right, hopefully with a real putter this time, you can avert a double bogey.
Get through.
All right, not bad. I'll take it. All right, gotta go off the ottoman. You got it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, not terrible. We got a chance at par here.
Yes.
Bit of a drag, but we were up against the door, so like I said, it's a little tough inside the house. If you have some room out in the backyard, you can do it there as well. But that's a par on the second hole, so we're still +2 after 2, which I will take.
Good job, Mr. Feeley.
All right, so after a par on the second hole, we are +2 heading into the third and final hole of Mr. Feeley's mini golf course he made in his apartment. Here we have a little bit of a ramp that we made with some stuff. Like I said, get creative, have some fun. Obviously, check with your parents before you start using stuff, especially if you are inside. If you're outside, still check with the parents before you start using stuff. Always a good idea. So for this one, the last one's a par 3. We're trying to get it over the ramp, over the ottoman, between the sandals, and into the shoebox. Still using the real putter this time, just because I did a little bit better with it the second time, but don't be afraid to use your homemade creations. It's not about a perfect score. It's not about getting hole-in-ones. It's just about having some fun, getting active. All right, now with that said, let's get a hole-in-one.
Get in the hole.
Oh, a little short. That was good, though. All right, pressure. So if Mr. Feeley makes this, he'll have gotten the ball in under par, which means he takes a shot or a total point off of his total score. So if he makes this, he'll go from 2 over par or +2 to +1. If he misses it, hopefully he'll still make par and he'll still be at +2. No pressure.
It's in the hole.
That is
Attaboy.
what's called a birdie. So now my total score goes back down to +1. After 3 holes, Mr. Feeley finishes +1 or 1 over par. I will take that any day of the week. All right. Like I said, send me what you got. Make your own holes. Send pictures, videos, stories. Have fun. Miss you guys.
Gotta give the cameraman a try.
Give it to him.
Clutch.
Give it to the
Clutch
cameraman.
birdie putt.